All right, so you guys have had 2 days now to go over this work and to finish it. And so we're going to move on at this point. This was your math story that you were supposed to complete. Remember, she is going to earn $5 for every one chore that she completes, and she's saving up for a pair of $50 jeans. So we're going to go through what that would have looked like when you did your work. Now remember, we had an input-output graph on the book, but when you typed it in on the computer, it would have just been you typing in your answers, because I'm trying to make this all digital for you guys. So if we look at it the first time, if she does one chore, that's the same as getting $5, right? So basically what they've done is they've just made a little chart like this. And what you are supposed to do is go then what 2 and 3 chores would get you. So if you're having a difficult time with this, remember you could always just make a picture. If she does one chore, she gets $5 for that one chore. If she does another chore, she gets another $5. Well, what's 5 plus 5? If you said 10, you're correct. So one chore would have been $5. 2 chores would have been $10. Well, what if we did 3 chores? What if we added another $5? Well, now we have 5, 10, 15. She's up to $15 for her jeans. Now, in my instructions, I told you guys I wanted you to go all the way up to number 10 because that's what the graph is going to do for you. So if we look at this, our input is 4, and we have to figure out what the output is going to be for the rest of this. So let me make a little graph all the way up to 10. I already did 1, 2, and 3 for you guys. So now let's go through all the rest. So I'm going to leave these circles over here. I'll probably have to make them smaller so I have room. So now if I do a 4th chore, I have 1 chore, 2 chores, 3 chores, 4 chores, and I'm getting $5 for each of these chores. 5, 10, 15, 20. So for 4 chores, I'm going to get $20. If I add another 5th chore for $5 more, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm getting 25. Let's add a 6th chore, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So for 6 chores, she'll have earned $30. Now we're going to add a 7th chore, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. She's up to $35. As you recall, her jeans are $50. We're not taking into account taxes, obviously. So here we're going to add our 8th chore. Now when I count them, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. She's up to $40. We add the 9th chore, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You could see we're getting closer to that 50. And now when we add that 10th chore in, right here, now we have it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So we've completed the chart because my requirements for you was to get down to 10. And if you completed the work online, you would have noticed I stopped at 10. And the last question online was, how many chores would she have to do to earn $50 for her jeans? Well, she would have had to do 10 chores to earn the $50 for her jeans. So now that that's complete, the next thing I want you guys to do is to open up your book to the graph. Now, I will write in the page number. I think this was page 118 online. So this would be 119 for the input-output table. And 120 is going to be the graph. Now, I know it's hit and miss how many of you actually have a printer at home and how many of you don't. But I'm going to show you ways that you could do it without the printer. So you see we're drawing a graph. We're going up by 5s on the side. So we have the y-axis. Well, what is the y-axis? Remember when we were over here, the y-axis was the amount of money earned. You hear Sweetie too in the background. So if you get a piece of paper and you just make a giant L like this, and maybe you have someone at home who could help you if it's hard for you to do, and just start making little dashes going up the side. This is if you don't have a printer to use. From there, you're just going to label it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Now on the bottom, we're going to go across just the same way and try and keep them the same. If you want, maybe put your finger in between each one and make sure that it's the same width across. That's very important when you're making a graph. Okay. Now we're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now remember, across the bottom we have the x-axis. If we go back to the input-output, the x-axis is the number of chores. So if you're writing this on paper, you can label it chores. And then on this side, it's going to be the money earned. Now for one chore, if you remember, so if we go over to one chore, how much money did she earn for one chore? If you said $5, you're correct. So we're going to go over for one chore and we're going to go up to the $5 mark and we're going to draw a dot there. Now for two chores, how much did she earn? $10. And if you forget, you could go back to my video and watch it, or you can just go back to what you did the day before with your input-output table. I would like for you to go through this whole chart, 8, 9, and 10, and you'll have to make this one go all the way up to 50. My board's a little small. I didn't really draw it correctly, I guess. So if you can draw something relatively similar to this, I'm not worried about if it looks messy, because I'm going to be able to see the direction that your dots are going, and I'll be able to tell if you truly understand how the amount of chores changes the amount of money. If you have a printer and you're able to print this one page off, then you could fill everything in directly on here, and you can scan it and send me a copy of it. You could have your parents take a picture and upload the picture, or email me the picture. Whatever you want to do is fine. But this is going to be your assignment today. So if you haven't completed the input-output table, now's the time to do that. And then once you've completed the table, you're going to go ahead and do this graph. All right? Have fun.